Kelly, Broken Carnivore here. How y'all doing? I want to talk a little bit about, does the carnivore diet cause heart disease? By eating the carnivore diet, will we get heart disease? Will we have issues and have a heart attack? Based on this picture I saw last week, kind of got me to question, does the carnivore diet cause heart disease? There's a little controversy here because with this picture here, I don't agree totally 100% about this picture. Somewhat I do agree. If you eat of course, this picture here talks about being on a vegan diet, a pure vegan diet. Well, I agree with it somewhat. I totally don't agree with it somewhat. I agree if you are eating a clean vegan with clean, healthy plant-based oils, could possibly be. I don't know. Not going to answer that. But on the bottom spectrum, that picture showed a keto heart valve, fully clogged, fully built up with plaque, heart disease, bad. I somewhat could agree, but I also going to disagree because this is based on my journey, is based on how I feel. And if that is true, by eating a carnivore diet, I should be having shortness of breath. But where I agree with this picture on that is if you're eating a keto diet, very dirty, going to the store, you're buying the keto bread, you're buying the keto treats, the keto snacks, the keto desserts that are chocked full of seed oils, grains, all that garbage in it, I could believe that. But this same goes with the other two. One's an omnivore, the other one's a vegetarian. It could go either way. If it's very clean, I don't see it. But where I disagree, and this is based on my journey so far, I am 245 days in on the carnivore diet. I don't consider it a diet, consider it a lifestyle journey. This is the way I'm going to eat the rest of my life. Occasionally, I may eat a little bit of avocados, some strawberries in season, maybe some tomatoes, long as it's not affecting, the gut health. But most of the time, I will be primarily eating a animal-based, natural carnivore diet full of fatty meat, especially fatty red meat, eggs, bacon, anything that's naturally comes from nature. I'm avoiding all processed foods because I believe this is a lot of our problems, especially if you're eating American S.A.D's diet. Well, I say, does the carnivore diet cause heart disease? My answer is, no, I don't think so. But that is my answer. But I also, hear from family, some friends, people out there, oh no, you shouldn't be on that diet very long. It's going to cause issues. Well, I totally disagree. Today I'm 46 years old. I'll be 47 in July, and I feel the best I have. I have plenty of rest. I can sleep 5 to 7 hours, and I have a lot of rest, and I'm restful. I may catnap after I lunch. But I'm fully revived. I can go up and down stairs without, being short of breath. I don't have chest pains. If this was so true, the carnivore diet causes heart disease, why aren't the veteran carnivores out there? Have they, why they're not having heart attacks? Some of them have been out there, 2, 3, 10, 20. There's a lady rancher that Kerry Mann did an interview on the documentary that him and the Healing Humanity movie is doing. And she is 83 years old. She's been carnivore for 65 years. So majority of her entire adult life, she was a carnivore. She's thriving. This lady is 83 years old. She looks like she's in her early 60s, maybe early 50s. She's thriving better than I am. And I'm 46 years old. But we hear, oh, carnivore, no, all that saturated fat, that's bad for you. You're gonna clog your arteries. You're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna die of a heart attack. Well, why is these people thriving? I'm 245 days in and I'm thriving. I don't have the inflammation. I sleep well. I never was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I know I had it. I asked people, and I know there was a nurse like 5 years ago when my dad was in the hospital and we were waiting for him to pass away from a stroke, and I was napping. The nurse noticed that I had sleep apnea. I asked, I said, have I snored? Or my kids? And they're like, no, not really, unless you're like, your neck is, pinched where you cut your airwave off. That's about the only time I ever snore. I sleep really well. I just had an echocardiogram. I got the results back. The doctor says everything looks great. Everything is appeared to be normal. There's no abnormalities. And he says, I'll see you in 2 years. He highly recommends to do the calcium score number, which I'm going to do because I'm sure that I had some calcium build plaque up in the past. In my 20s, I smoked cigarettes for 9 years, almost 2 packs a day. I'm sure that's it's caused a lot of inflammation. I had more issues when I was in my 20s than I do today at 46. I chewed before I was 40 years old. I chewed almost a can a day. Grateful today. I'm very lucky that I am able to do these videos. I could be here, have no face, or a messed up face from cancer, or I could be dead not doing these videos and sharing. I also ate a bad S.A.D diet, American Standard Diet. It was so bad for us. And today at 46, I'll be 47 in July, and I'm thriving. There's people that's been on it longer, like Dr. Kiltz. He's been on almost 20 years, and he thrives. I see him every morning on Kilt's Mighty Tribe on YouTube. He thrives. Dr. Nelson is another one that's thriving. He's been on it for a couple, 3 years. Alia, our guests, the guests that they guest appear. There's many out there. Dr. Barry, Dr. Anthony Shavy, I think Dr. Otavia, I'm hoping I'm saying the name right. He's the doctor that says, I fix hearts. He wrote a book, I don't want to see you on my operating table. He's thriving on carnivore, and he's suggesting that. We've been eating this. I'm a Christian, so I believe what the Bible says. I believe that life started at the garden, but no matter our differences on how life began, one thing we all agree on as carnivores, or as we eat on the proper human diet, that today what we see in the grocery store is not what was in the beginning of time. I know some Bible scholars to say, oh, we were vegetarians, we were vegans, we never had an animal-based diet. I don't know. It doesn't say. I'm sure we did, but back then, before the fall of sin, the fall of the world, everything came into the world of sin, because of the sin came in, I'm sure we can eat plants. We shouldn't have no problem. But it also didn't say that's all thing we eat. God said and commanded Adam and Eve, you can eat of anything in this garden, or anything but that one tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you eat that fruit, you will die. But also, back then, the fruit and the plants back then is not the same what we have today. Just like during the flood, I believe we had a global flood. I believe that maybe they had their food prepared. They had it prepared. They probably had a lot of plant-based, whatever, until the earth was repopulated. But the one thing we all will agree on, as the earth was populating, that we were hunters and gatherers. We went and ate. We also fasted if we didn't eat. Occasionally we probably tried veg as agriculture was starting to come on. It was way different then than it is today. Yes, during Jesus's time, bread was a staple food, but if you read in Leviticus, you read through, they had diseases. It's almost the same diseases that a lot of us experience today, autoimmune diseases. What did a lot of they eat? Because it was a staple food, grains, plants. A lot of times they didn't eat as much meat. unless it's fish, lean fish, because or lean meats or whatever they ate, their primary staple. If you were rich, you ate a lot of meat, you hunt. That's even up in the medieval ages in Europe and stuff. You know, the pestilence had to eat the grains and the cheaper stuff. That's why there's a lot of sickness. You know, you go to here in this country, the original Native Americans, what did they do? From one end to the other, depends on what region. You hunt and you gathered. You hunt for your food. You gathered. You save that. Depends on what time of the year you may to grow some food. Further south, you may had a little more plants. Further north, you had a primary diet was carnivore. You had to eat what was available. Sometimes you did not eat. So that's the very thing I agree on, is I believe that the carnivore diet, the ketogenic diet, is a proper human diet. I believe that we can eat some veg or some plants within reason. Depends on how it affects you and your gut and your body. I can eat a little bit, not all of it. But today we have a society that we rely on corporations to buy the food. They rely on the pharmaceuticals, they rely on the doctors, and like we're supposed to have healthcare. We don't have healthcare. I believe we have sick care. They don't want to keep us healthy. Granted, there's a lot of doctors out there that wants that, but there's also out there in the health world and out here that it's all about money, and they want you sick. They want you to rely on it. They don't want you to be thriving. They don't want you to do things. They want you to, oh, here, do this, do that, eat this, eat that, you'll be fine. Take this medicine. Oh, take this miracle drug, you can lose weight and all that. It doesn't help. The thing is to me, the best medicine is out there is fatty meat, the sunshine, because we need sun, the vitamin D, rest, and physical activity. Whatever it is, you got to get your body moving. You also got to rest, but get out there and move. Eat the proper human diet. I'm not 100%, pain free. I still have some pain, but the one thing is I don't have severe inflammation. Mine is because I have an imbalance, and as I figure, out and try to do whatever I can to strengthen and stuff, which is this part is my hardest. It's going to be, it's going to be pain because I have to strengthen. I have a lot of weak muscles from sitting in the past, from not taking care of myself. I'm sure I have some heart damage. I'm sure I had some plaquing. I smoked cigarettes, smoked up to 2 packs a day. I did a little vaping. I chewed. This is where I developed high blood pressure in 2019, so bad that it caused male issues. And that's one thing is for men, if you are having an erection issue, the first thing you need to do is you need to go seek help, because that isn't a sure sign of why we have a health issue, because it's the blood flow. And if you don't have that proper blood flow and that proper dilation in your bloodstream, you're going to have problems. Even you men, even us men out there, if we don't take care of ourselves, that can even affect our sex hormone, our sex drive, of the erection. And so, if you eat the wrong stuff, you're going to have heart disease. If you are having issues about, from, smoking, though, that stuff is not good for us. We are poisoning ourselves, just like alcohol. Alcohol to me is poison. Can you may get by a little bit, sip here and there? You can, but most people don't. It is pure poison. And our vehicles can run off of it. Our gasoline vehicles, the alcohol. My vehicle is E85 compatible, and moonshine, what it is, it's ethanol. So whiskey and all that is made from ethanol, and that stuff is just poison. Why would you want to put that in your body? I used to do it. I don't anymore. I don't want that in there. I don't want alcohol in my body. I don't want to smoke anymore. I don't want to chew. I am thriving, and am I scared? Am I ever slip up and go back? Yeah, of course. I'm very conscious about it. But now I'm more conscious about it because I don't want to go back to that way. I want to thrive. So, if my question is, does the carnivore diet cause heart disease? My answer is no. But other people will have a different opinion. But that is my opinion. And that most of this is just based on my journey. And the one thing before I end this video, the one thing that I don't understand is, and this is based off of my heart checkup, is you hear LDL, HDL. LDL is bad cholesterol and HDL is good cholesterol, that where body is produced both. And there's a certain number that, most healthcare recommend. There's a national standard people go by. But the Missouri Heart Center, I guess they go even lower. And they saw mine was a little elevated, but it was in range, but not their range. And, they said that we like to get our bad cholesterol down and the good cholesterol up. I believe good and bad cholesterol. I don't believe that we produce this cholesterol at the same time. I believe based on the saturated fats, or depends what the fats we eat, what foods we eat. I believe that we produce quality. And it doesn't matter the number, what number you have. I believe that it's the quality. If you eat good animal-based fats like ghee, butter, tallow, lard, any animal fat, maybe on the plant side, because sometimes depends on what region you're in. The only fat options you may have some plant-based. If you're eating like in the Mediterranean area, extra virgin olive oil, and you want to make sure you get the quality when it comes to plant-based good oils, because you want it the quality, you want it pure as you can, because sometimes they'll put the trash seed oils in. But if you have avocado oil, unrefined and unrefined coconut oil, I believe that those fats will be okay, because every now and then I may make mayo and I use with the avocado oil, and it's got to be pure unrefined, no trash, no junk in it. I believe if you stick with that part of it, I believe you're going to produce good quality cholesterol, because to me, and as I research, LDL is just a lipid carrier. It carries it to your cells. HDL carries it back to the liver. I mean, I totally don't understand the whole scientific information because I'm not knowledge in it. I'm just basing on what I researched. But if you go to fast food or a restaurant, you get hamburgers and french fries with the buns with 19 different ingredients with the seed oils. Your fries are bathing in seed oil that's rancid already, that's producing more omega-6. I believe those are worse for us than animal-based. I believe that's where you produce the bad cholesterol. And the reason why I'm saying this is I work in maintenance, apartment maintenance. At home, cooking beef, cooking anything with animal-based fats, you're constantly got to clean the top of your cabinets because the steam and stuff is grease. You're going to get that greasy film. I can take my bare fingers and I can rub that into my hands into it, and it just feels like grease. I have exhaust fans I have to change out when they go bad. I have to wear gloves because they're so sticky, and it's so bad that I have to pry it out. That's how bad seed oils can be when you cook them. And I believe if you eating the seed oils and they're cooked, and as they cool, they're going to get sticky. I believe the stickiness, because they're more, as I understand, if your LDL is big, fat, fluffy particles, you're going to be fine. If they're the little small particles, I believe they can be damaging, because one thing of cholesterol does heal inflammation. You get inflammation in your heart valve or heart arteries. What did it do? It's going to fix it. It's going to heal it. But the problem is it's going to go over and over and over. And guess what happens? The plaque builds, because you continue to inflame your heart. You continue to damage it. You continue to damage your body with inflammation and stuff. And before you know it, it sticks. I believe it's sticking. I believe when you eat the proper fat, it's fluffy, it's light, it's not sticky, and so it doesn't stick, but you're also not having much inflammation. And if you do, it's already healing it and it's done, whatever it takes, and then the rest of it goes on. I believe truly that we've been eating this way since the beginning of time, and I believe this is the only way we should be eating, with some plants and stuff every now and then. And what happened? We've been eating like this for a while, and what happened? Why are we this way? Why are we in the modern world eating this junk crap that's poison, full of glyphosate, full of herbicides, that is causing cancer? Our cancer is skyrocketed. If you're 45 or older, now you need to have a colon screening. Heart disease is on the rise. Obesity is on the rise. Type 2 diabetes is on the rise. All these stuff that's causing these issues, skin disease, autoimmune diseases, all on the rise. Why? This is the one thing. We have changed the way we eat because of greed, because we were sold on something that is good for us and that is horrible for us. And seed oils, everyone that's carnivore will 100% agree that seed oils is engine lubricant, or it's what it was. It was lubricant, but somewhere it was sold and promoted for human consumption. I can run vegetable oil in my tractor, diesel. I can run it on that. If I'm poor and I can't afford diesel, and you see me in Walmart and you see me big jugs of vegetable oil, it's because I need fuel for my tractor. So I can run that off my tractor. I have an old diesel tractor that I can run that off of. Will I put it in my tractor? No, because I have to have it heated. It's got to be heated and stuff certain. But basically what I'm saying, it is an engine lubricant. It is fuel. I can run this because industrial seed oils, if you research it, how it is made, they are made with solvents that are petroleum-based, highly toxic, highly poisonous, and then they mildly wash this with detergents and bleaches to get that out of there, which is chocked full of more poison, and then they put it on your shelf at Walmart or Gerb's or any grocery store in your area and say, hey, this is much more healthier than eating a ribeye steak. So I'm going to get back real quick. What is your thinking on this? Does the carnivore diet cause heart disease, or are we being fed a bunch of bull junk, which I totally agree we're being fed? And then if you are a doctor that's on the carnivore journey or in healthcare or a health coach, comment down below and ask me, answer my question. Why does the healthcare, why do they classify HDL and LDL, good and bad? Like, why do they say that we produce good and bad cholesterol at the same time? If y'all can answer that for me, it'd be greatly appreciated. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up by reading 2 Corinthians 5:17, the Modern English Version. Therefore, if any man in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things has passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Like always, remember, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and support and encourage one another. Y'all have a great day and a good week. God bless.